If you're finding it harder to stay on budget, you're not alone. One thing that has saved me financially time and time again is doing a no spend month or a no spend year. I've actually done about 3 or 4 no spend years in the past, and the last year I didn't. And boy, did it show. I lost sight of my money goals, I lost sight of where I needed to go. So I'm getting myself prepped for another no spend year. So if you want to join along with the journey, don't forget to follow and subscribe. But let's see how we can be the most successful, save some money, clear some debt, and be financially stable in 2026. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to succeed with a no spend year and how to prepare for it. Hi, my name's Rachel. I share videos about decluttering, minimalism, and my no spend years. I have in the past done lots of no spend years. I do a lot of decluttering, I help others declutter, and I share minimalism ideas and tricks. So if that's something that is interesting to you, then don't forget to hit subscribe. But let's talk about prepping for a no spend year. I have previously done a video on how to prep for no spend year, but it was probably about 2 or 3 years ago. So it's time for an updated version. And I want your no spend year to be successful without it feeling like it's miserable or frustrating. Why do a no spend year or no spend month? Whether it's going towards debt, a financial goal, or you're just saving for an emergency fund, the financial gain is huge. But honestly, the less obvious reasons are my favourites. So you will absolutely learn how you are attached to things. And I think that is a really good reason why we should do it. Because I feel like a lot of our spending in daily life is on autopilot. We tap the card, we swipe our phone, and we are just spending many times in a day, and it just becomes uncontrollable and unmanageable. By doing a no spend month or a no spend year, you can really see what items you have a hold on or have a hold on you that make it difficult for you to keep track of your finances. And this year, because I wasn't doing a no spend year, I really felt that I could notice my triggers. I could notice that it was when I was feeling a little bit sad or a little bit stressed, I would go get that extra chocolate, or I'd do these extra things to keep my mind busy and distracted from the other things that I needed to do. And I know that that's going to be really helpful when I move forward into this no spend year, because I will be able to spot them immediately, but I will have a stronger reason to stop the spending. Another benefit that you'll have on why you should do a no spend year is that you'll become a better consumer. You'll become more conscious about what you're spending on, how it suits your life, whether it works for you and your family. And you'll also spend less money on things that you didn't really need. You won't be buying as much stuff that is affecting the planet by over consuming. You'll reduce down your consumption and you'll feel a lot better for that. And obviously the essential goal is to stop spending in the sales, stop being tempted to buy it just because something's reduced or on offer. You will start to see the true value of things. So before we can get started, you need to know your why. Why do you need to do a no spend year? Your why is going to be your key motivator here. Maybe it's because you're tempted to overspend, maybe you're an impulse purchaser, or maybe you do stuff like I do, where it's been a rough week and you kind of make up that feeling with a dopamine hit elsewhere. So ask yourself, are you trying to save money? Are you trying to save for something in particular? Are you trying to clear debt? Are you trying to save for a deposit for a house? Are you trying to save for a holiday? Or are you just trying to pause on the amount that you're spending? Is it the opportunity to really see where your money goes? Because until you do a no spend year, you do not realise how much you spend on things that you don't remember, things that don't matter. And it's quite eye-opening the amount of hundreds and thousands of pounds that get whittled away and you don't really have anything to show for it. And what you need to do with that why, you need to write it somewhere visible. You could write it in your planner, in your diary, in a goal setting book. You need to see it on a regular basis. You could draw it up on a piece of paper, holiday, debt clearing. You could have a tally chart or some kind of record of your debt total, and you can slowly see it going down. You want that visual reminder every day, because you're going to need that reminder every day. Every time you go to buy something, every time you go to a shop, you need that reminder that you don't want to spend. And for me, my why is going to be clearing some debt. I've racked up my credit cards. I don't even know why. I know where it's gone. It's gone on clothes. I needed new clothing over the last couple of years, and it's gone on holidays. So I have got something to show for it, but it just feels like I've also frittled it away on everyday life as well. So that is my why. I'm clear in debt. So let me know in the comments what your why is, and we can keep each other accountable. Our next step is that we're going to review our spending. You cannot know how much you are trying to save until you know exactly your budget and where that lies. So you need to know your income, you need to know all your expenses, so you know exactly what's coming out where and what your maximum total expenses are for the month, and so that you know what is your leftover amount. The expenses include your food, includes all your household bills, includes petrol, it includes everything you are likely to need on a regular basis within that month. It is the excess money that we need to know how much it is. If you know that you should have £1,000 left over, or you should have £200 left over, that is the money that we are tracking, and we're going to see where we're at with that. What would be helpful is if you have got some expenses that you don't need to be paying for, maybe some subscriptions to maybe TV services that maybe you're not using as much of or don't want to use so much going forward. Maybe you've got a gym membership but you've got gym equipment at home. Think about the subscriptions you're already paying for, memberships you're paying for, and see if there are any that you can cut down to reduce down that expenses amount so that you have more left over for the end of each month. You also want to look through the last couple of months of statements and see exactly where things are going. See how many Costa trips there are, how many coffees you've had, how many trips you've been on, how many tickets you're buying. You kind of need to know how much you're spending in each category. How much do you spend on clothes, tickets, meals out, takeaways, all those different categories. What are you spending in each? I think that is a good starting point. Knowing exactly what you're spending means that you can know where you're comfortable in reducing down. So if you're normally spending £100 on clothing, could you go without spending any money because maybe you've already built up your wardrobe? Now's the time to cut that area. So you want to have a think about where you can reduce down in which category that you're comfortable with. Maybe you like having the odd takeaway, but maybe you could reduce the amount of meals out that you have, or vice versa, so that you can really see what you're working with and what your triggers are, what your comfort zones are, and where your real spend is at. And with those categories that you're reducing down, that's where you can create those rules that you maybe have a maximum spend in that category, or maybe you're having no spend in that category. Maybe it's you're not allowed to buy books, or you're not allowed to buy music, you've got to only use your subscription. Think about ways that you can create rules that will work for you in your daily life, because you still need to be able to live, but you want to see what's going to work for you. So for me, I know that books are a bit of an issue. I usually buy books from my favourite authors. I feel like that is a comfortable amount to spend each year. It's a couple of books maybe, but in general, I ask for books for Christmas or for my birthday so that I know that I don't have to spend the money and I still get those occasional treats, and I do use the local library instead as a free opportunity to get local and new books. So I found a way of cutting down some spend in an area that I know was quite spendy before. Is it maybe that you're only allowed to buy replacement makeup so that you are trying to use things up? That is a great way of cutting down some costs in some areas, using up food cupboard items so that you really are using what you have and nothing gets wasted. Are you allowed to socialise still, but maybe you have a restriction on the amount? It could be that you say no to decor items or decorations and things like that, or maybe you have a rule with people you know that you're not doing certain gifts for certain people, you're only doing cards, so that you're all reducing down the amount that you're spending in general on gifts and things. And it might be that you give yourself maybe £20 to £30 of a little bit of wiggle room money, so that if something pops up, you've got some money to be able to do something or go somewhere or meet someone, and you're not fully restrictive. And it just gives you a little bit of freedom, but without the full freedom of all of your money. So I think I'm currently at a limit of £50 a month. I feel like that is enough. That's enough to buy the odd item of clothing. I think for me, my rule is I have to sell an item of clothing and I can use that money to then buy a new item of clothing. So it's like a one in, one out policy, but with funding, so it's not costing me anything. I think books, I will say that I want to only buy certain authors or only special books, and I think I'll have £50 a month that is allowed generally for socialising and doing things with people. I also think I might have a bit of a budget for buying tickets to events because I feel like that's really important to me and that's something that I want to prioritise. You then want to think about how you can automate your money. As soon as payday comes, you want most of your bills to come out soon after that. You want to be able to know that you're not having to think about some of those things, that you've only got to worry about food and petrol with that's left. That's usually how I do it. I get paid on the 25th. All the bills come out by the 2nd, bar maybe one or two, and the food and petrol. So that's how I kind of take away some of the stress of worrying about when things are coming out and knowing that I've got enough money still in my account to do things. I then know I need to be paying off debt, so I'm going to have a certain amount that's going to automatically be paid as soon as I get paid on payday, that I've checked through my balance and I know exactly how much I can afford to pay towards my debt. Anything I do sell, that could also go towards my debt if I have a bit of a clear out and reduce down some of the stuff I have, that will help go towards it as well. If you can remove some of that decision making so that you don't have to think about a lot of the bills, it does make it much easier to manage your daily finances and you don't have to worry about overspending. The next thing you need to do is you need to track your weekly spend. So anytime you buy something, keep the receipt. I know it seems a bit annoying, but you only have to keep it to get home, to put it on a tracker and see what you're spending in each category, because things will come up, you'll have to be spending on stuff, but it's nice to know that you have tracked it and you know that within a year you have spent so much on beauty products. It maybe used to be 100 odd and now it's only 20 or 30 pounds. You can see that because you have tracked within each category and you know exactly where your spending is at. I also like to keep a track on my petrol bill and also my food bill so that I know that I'm keeping within my budget, because I have around 50 to 60 pounds that I have for food to track. So it helps me stay in line and know that I'm not overspending. And if you're tracking it weekly, it helps you to keep an eye on if you've overspent one week, you know you've got another week to kind of even it out and reduce down so that you keep on balance for the whole of the month. So you want to be tracking each receipt into categories. Maybe it's books, takeout, meals out, homeware, clothing. Think about all the categories that you know you spend in, and that's what you want to track it against so that you can add up how much you spent in a category each month, and then over the year you can obviously add up each category again and know your true spend. It's quite a fun thing to be able to reflect back on. It kind of helps you to realise how much you spend in certain areas, and it helps you to compare against your previous spend per month in categories as well. What I find really helpful when I'm doing a no spend year is to let people know. If they know that I'm doing a no spend year, then we plan more free or low cost activities with friends, like going for a walk or taking a picnic somewhere, so it becomes more manageable for finances and things. So having a support network as well is really helpful. If they can encourage you and support you on your journey, they know that you'll be getting towards something, you're earning that holiday or you're paying off that debt or you're buying that house. You know that they're going to support you on that journey. And another great tip is to set up sinking funds. This is a bank of money that is used for things that you know that are going to come up. Like if you've got a car, you know you're going to need to pay for an MOT and maybe a service and maybe some repairs. So you have a bank of money that you put aside each month that goes into that sinking fund for that category. So you know that your MOT is coming up, you've got that money ready. It's not a surprise because you have allocated money for it. The same goes for birthdays. Think about who you buy for, how many people that is, how much you'd like to spend per person. Put that money aside, and then when their birthday comes, you don't have to scramble for money, you don't have to use out of any other pots. You've got that sinking fund ready. People often do that for Christmas. They'll save a certain amount each month, and then by September, October, they've got a good chunk of money ready to buy presents, and they're not scrambling last minute using their last paycheck and getting themselves into debt. So it's a great way of managing and maintaining healthy financial plans moving forward. And a general emergency fund is a good one just for your bills. So if you were to lose your job or go off sick, you know that you've got a bank of maybe 3 months' expenses saved in a pot just in case. It gives you that time, that flexibility to recover or to be able to find another job. Let's talk about some tips to be most successful for your no spend year. And the first one is to declutter your home. This is a great money maker and it's a great way to clear out some space and to kind of mentally free yourself and also to keep you busy when you would normally be in the shop spending. You can go through and sort through some stuff. It will help you make some money to go towards your financial goals. So it's a win-win. If you need some help with that, then I share lots of videos about decluttering, and I share daily reminders of little acts of decluttering that you can do every single day to keep you decluttering on a regular basis. Don't forget to unsubscribe and unfollow people that are likely to be encouraging you to spend money. I think it's so easy on social media and on email newsletters to be bombarded with ad after ad after ad, and it's difficult. It's difficult to resist those offers, those sales, those discounts. So we need to have that removed to make it easier. So follow people that are inspirational, or people that thrift, or maybe people that reuse things or rewear outfits as their kind of mantra, and it will help you do the same. And also make sure you are unsubscribing from those email newsletters, especially brands that are sending several emails a day. I've had some that have done that, and I just find it way too much. Once a month should be more than enough for a sales company to suggest adverts or sales or promotions. We don't need daily emails, so unsubscribe. And definitely make sure that you're finding supportive content or groups that are going to be on a similar path to you. Debt-free journeys, there's those of money saving help on the Money Saving Expert. So there's lots of different ways that you can get support in different forums that are going to be doing the same things, saving money, meal planning, etc. Don't forget to celebrate your milestones. As you get started and you work through and you realise that you have reduced on what you spent, celebrate, reward yourself, give yourself a pat on the back, and make sure that you are celebrating those little wins that happen, because they are big wins overall. So hopefully this is going to be a strong year for not spending. I think for me, I'm really excited to be able to do a new challenge and get back on that financial straight again, and know that I am thinking more carefully about my money. I feel like I've gone a bit wild this year. I've done lots of nice things. I've gone to lots of concerts and gigs and events and theatre trips. So I've enjoyed myself. I've just spent way too much. So let me know if you're going to do a no spend year. Let me know in the comments what you are working towards, what you're trying to save for, or what you're trying to pay off. It's good to support each other and keep each other accountable. And if you have any extra tips that you want to share, pop those in the comments as well. I shall be back soon for some no spend updates. Take care. Bye. For anyone that's new to my channel, I have actually written a book that goes with the little acts of decluttering. It tells you all about each area, and it gives you a handy checklist at the end of each section that talks you through each item and how best to do it. It also includes different challenges and things like that, as well as goal setting pages.